Hey, you guys, Matt Allen, Tim Little, welcome back to Tactical Bassin and welcome to our Fall Buyer's Guide series. Today, we are talking about the best entry-level and value-packed rod and reel combos. Hopefully you guys have been following along our Fall Buyer's Guide series. If you haven't, we'll link those down below in the video description. You guys can go back and check those. But the important information for today's video is rods are on sale. If you don't catch this for a few days, reels will be on sale. But today we're talking about entry level and budget packed or budget valued combos. So you want to kick it off? Yeah, let's kick this thing off. So we're going to go from the lowest price to the highest price, and not just in today's video. The next few days, we're talking rod and reel combos. We're gonna start at that entry level and work our way all the way up to enthusiast combos. So every single rod and reel we talk about the next few days will be more expensive than the one before, and we'll be explaining why that combo is in that particular video. To kick this thing off, talking entry level. That's a funny title, right? Because entry level is not your like big box store junk $19 combo that you take down to the lake and realize it can't even cast, or the reel falls off, or the line's already bound up. This is entry level, but it's entry level for the serious angler.
The next step.
Yeah, the person who really wants to be a fisherman. We've got two spinning combos for you. The first one up from Shimano. This is the Celis line of rods. And then we pair that up to the Shimano Neck Save. We have talked about this combo for years because at its price point, it is an excellent choice. You are talking about a huge jump up from some of those box store combos, because we're talking combos today, but these are combos that we build. We are choosing the rod, choosing the reel, pairing them together. They don't come from the brands as combos. So the Celis paired to the Neck Save, you've got some great rod model choices in Celis. You get really good action, you get durability. That's the biggest thing out of the Neck Save. This is a reel that I have been really impressed with from day one. It is as smooth as it was the very first day that I fished with it. Just a very impressive reel that has stood up over time, because even at this price point, you're talking about a significant jump up from a super cheap combo, but what you get is gear that lasts. So it is not a jump up. You would have gone through half a dozen junk combos in the amount of time it takes for this thing to still be buttery smooth.
Yeah, both of these rods and both these rod lines that we're going to talk about are also available in casting. You know, we've used both the spinning and the casting for many years. And I think Matt explained it really well. These aren't your just big box stores, your combo, take it out to the lake for Labor Day weekend and realize it sucks and throw it in the trash and go home and buy another one. Like, it's not. This is stuff that's going to last you for several years. And that's what you get with the Celis and the Neck Save. Also, the Daiwa.
It's raining.
Awesome. We got some rain coming. We got the Daiwa aired rod paired up with the Daiwa Revros reel. This is a combo that does not break the bank. It's a combo that we talked about, or at least it's a rod we talked about in the previous video, our entry level. And by no means, when we say entry level, are we talking about beginner fishermen. We understand that budget are all over the place.
Budgets and how you are as an angler are two different things.
Right. So this is an awesome rod, just like the Celis. This is a rod that is durable, it's flexible, it's light, it's sensitive. You can throw a lot of things. You can throw your favorite Texas rig worm on it, creature bait, shaky head. You know, in this price point, there's a lot of dual, if you will, kind of actions. Okay, so this is something that's gonna last for several years. Putting some braid to leader on it, you're gonna get some added sensitivity, but you get a super smooth reel, a super smooth drag, and you're not gonna have to throw it in the trash the day after you use it.
Yeah, totally. Now, from there, we're stepping up into, I mean, for lack of a better term, we're calling them value-packed rods, right? And we're moving up in price points here. You've got these rods and reels that bring a lot more to the table for a small jump up in price. And that's what we want to walk you through in these steps. Now, we're not going to get into the specifics of price. In years past, we've done the $100 rod and reel combo, $200 rod and $300, right? We're not doing that this year whatsoever. We are linking every single thing that we talk about in the video description, no matter what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube right now, Facebook, you're on TacticalBassin.com, wherever you're seeing this, there's a description that will give you links to everything we talk about in order that goes straight to Tackle Warehouse. So if this reel appeals to you, you can click that link, it'll take you straight there, you can see the price, and you can understand what these steps are doing as we go. That's what those links are for. So what we've got here, the first value-packed combo is the Abu Garcia Vengeance line of rods, which we did talk about yesterday. Man, it is seriously raining.
Feels good, fall weather.
It does feel pretty good. This Vengeance line, you've got a lot of really good models. So what I mean by that is it's not just one or two models where you're trying to force them to do different things. You're trying to throw a Senko and a jig and a crankbait and a topwater all in the same model, right? Here you have a lot of different options, and in the video description, along with a link to the rod, we'll give you our top 2 or 3 favorite models in that line as well. Now that the rain has stopped, let's jump back in. So that Vengeance line paired to the Abu Garcia Max 5 Pro. The Max Pro was the previous generation of this reel and was unbelievably popular for its price point. Phenomenal reviews everywhere you looked. Its durability was almost unmatched. Just a fantastic reel for the price. This Max 5 Pro, the next generation, just recently came out. I have really enjoyed fishing this thing. The biggest difference is we've done a full review of this thing already, but you've got an additional bearing, you've got a little more line capacity, and you've got handles. The actual pads are significantly larger and to my hand are much more comfortable than the previous generation. Just an all-around win in this combo.
All right, next up, as we continue this progression up the line, we're talking about the Dobyns Colt line of rods paired up with the Shimano Chaos. Again, the Colt, some of these rods we've talked about in previous videos of this series, but the Colt lineup is the entry-level lineup in the Dobyns line of rods. Now that's something where you can continue to step up and get higher end rods, but the important thing is you get those lengths and actions that transfer through all of the lines. So here, this is a 703, so a 7'3" power rod. So there's a lot of actions in this Colt line that apply to a lot of different fishing techniques. You can technique specific stuff. So that's a really, really good line of rods. And then of course, paired up with the Shimano Chaos, that Shimano bait caster, you know, Shimano, Daiwa, owning their own factories. They're kind of the staple in reel development and technologies. And what that means is as these newer reels get more and more technical, that older technology kind of trickles down to their entry-level stuff. So now you have a reel that doesn't break the bank, but has a lot of the features that some of the reels, the higher-end reels had just a few years ago, and it's just all kind of moving down the line. But that KS, very smooth, kind of a cool-looking reel. It's a matte black with some green on it. Pairs up really nicely, like I said, to that Dobyns Colt. But the Shimano, the durability, that's what you're getting in as we move up through these, I guess we're calling them budget, what do we call them? Value-packed combos, is you're getting longevity and durability. And we know that when you spend your hard-earned dollar, your hard-earned money, you don't want to have to purchase these things over and over and over again. And a lot of these combos we put together, we've used throughout the last several years and still are as smooth as the day that we bought them.
Yeah. So jumping up from there, we arrive here at SLX. Shimano SLX paired to a Shimano SLX. Phenomenal combo. Talk about value packed. You've got an amazing line of rods, models to do everything from throw your biggest swim bait to a drop shot. That SLX reel, bang for the buck, unbelievable. You get so much value at that price point It's phenomenal. And again, we'll link all this in the video description. So if you want to understand that pricing, it's all there for you. But so many model options here with these rods. You can do everything from frog to swim bait to drop shot, like I said. Just great options and great looking as well, which does matter. But probably the biggest thing is that I have never broken an SLX, and I have never worn out an SLX reel, and I have wailed on both of them. They just stand the test of time. Like Tim said, when you said it very nicely, but when you spend that hard-earned dollar, you don't want to spend that dollar again.
Yeah, and like you said, my kid, I fish SLXs every day, basically. My kids fish them, my wife fish. I mean, we haven't broken one yet. Between the two of us, our families, we haven't, and that's saying something for the durability and longevity of these combos we're recommending. Yeah. All right, next up, we got the Tatula XT line of rods from Daiwa, paired up with matchy, the new Daiwa, that's the Aired 80. This is a completely revamped reel, but the rods themselves, again, just like the SLX, just like the Dobbins, now you're getting into a line of rods. You're getting into a line of rods where you have several choices for lengths and actions, but now you're starting to get pretty, like Matt talked about in the SLX.
Yeah.
You know, matchy, blue on blue. This is that real classy black with silver. Wrapped rods, EVA foam grips, but again, durable, light, sensitive, and then that new revamp, that Aired 80, very smooth. Have that paired up with a spool of fluorocarbon on there. But this is a rod, this is a line of rods that you can finesse fish with, you can power fish with, you can frog fish with. But again, you're gonna be able to use them this season, next season, the following season with no issues.
Jumping up from there, we arrive at the first offering from St. Croix. This is the Bass X line of rods. We have fished our way through 3 generations of Bass X, and they get better every time. St. Croix builds an unbelievable number of models in every line that they build. And Bass X is no exception. There are a ton of models, and we have some absolute favorites in there. This 7.4 heavy, incredible for everything from throwing a swim jig to a smaller frog to jig fishing. So many things. Big underspins. You can do so many things on that one model. It's amazing. So that's paired up to the 7GF casting reel. 7, the parent company is St. Croix, or at least partner company. I don't know how that works, but they are related brands. Their first dive into the market was this GF line, and they have since launched 2 more casting reels as well, higher end casting reels. We'll get to those in other days. But today, this GF really impressed me. When I first got my hands on this, it's got external cast control in addition to your internal controls, as did that Aired 80. That's the first one where you've got that external control there. The GF, what I love most about it is that those controls are highly functional. What I mean by that is sometimes you'll buy a more budget-oriented reel. It looks like the function's there, right? But it doesn't actually do diddly. This is very functional. You can really dial in for the baits and for the conditions. I mean, we're talking about budget. Well, we're not quite to budget, right? We've had to change our categories. Yeah, budget value really is tomorrow. This is value, but we're in that world, and we're talking about high-end components. We're talking about one of our favorite rod actions of all time, and you've got it at an incredible value.
Yeah, I completely missed it as I was talking about the Aired 80. This is a new reel that they completely redid this year, but having that adjustment on the outside makes for quick adjustments, whether you're fishing a lighter bait or you're fishing in the wind or you're throwing, you know, a glide bait that wants to tumble, and it helps to add a little bit of resistance or remove a little bit of resistance so that you don't blow up your spool. So thanks for touching on that. Completely dropped the ball on that. All right, now we have...
You sure did. Way to go.
Yeah. Now we have 2 value-packed spinning combos. I'll give you one here. One I picked, it's the Dobbins Maverick line, so a step up from that Colt that we talked about earlier, and then paired up with that Daiwa, This is the Legalis. Now what you get, the rod itself, obviously we talked about the Dobbins, we talked about the length and the power, the actions, right? The different choices. As you step up in value, you step up in choices for rods and more specific, technique specific actions. Okay, but this is actually a 692, so a 6'9" 2 power. This is a great universal finesse fishing rod. Your drop shots, your shaky heads, Nico rigs, light Texas rigs, that sort of thing. But we're gonna link some of our favorite models in all of these down below in the video description. But what I wanted to tell you is that there's just more choices available. And then again, you're getting that durability, that longevity. And then paired up with that Legalis, those you guys know, Daiwa just has that real special feel in their spinning reels, that real buttery smooth, no resistance in their handles, super smooth drag. Okay, you pair that up with your favorite spool of fluorocarbon, or even better yet, braid to a fluorocarbon leader. You get added sensitivity, you get added longevity, because that braid lasts a long time. You just change out your leaders every trip or so. But that is an awesome do-all value-packed spinning combo.
All right, last but not least, we've got from Fenwick, we have the Eagle line of rods. We've got that paired up to a Shimano Noski. Now, I will add, this is actually the previous generation of Noski, and this brings us to something that I don't know if we were going to talk about or not, but we might as well. We always talk about the good, we never talk about the other stuff. But we're at the end of the video. Some people won't see it anyway, we might as well tell. We always talk about the good in fishing, the good in traveling. We have a blast. We go on trips all over the globe together. And we get to do remarkable things, but sometimes those trips have a cost. We got to go on an incredible trip with friends and family this summer. Unbelievable, trip of a lifetime. More to come on that. The only negative of the whole trip was that Tim and I had 39 reels stolen from us. And not like stolen, they disappeared, stolen like taken out of our hands and we didn't have a choice about it. So, there will be some things in this buyer's guide series where you're looking at the wrong generation, or there is a missing reel, and we have full experience with the current reel. We just don't own them anymore.
We're in the process of having to repurchase everything.
A lot of things.
So
that's just reality. No big deal. We go on some amazing trips, and at the end of the day, it's worth it, right? We are beyond blessed. It's all good, but there will be a couple of things throughout this guide that aren't current, and that's just reality.
Yeah, realistically, it's the first time ever, anytime something like that's happened to us. And yeah, we left without all of our reels for the trip. So
yeah, it was great.
Luckily, it happened. I mean, if there is
on the way home.
Yeah, there's a silver lining. It happened on the way home, so we got to experience our trip, and it was amazing. But yes, with that said, we have experience with a lot of these items that we might not have the current generations because we did, and now they are gone. So.
Let's carry on. Back to the Eagle line. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about within Fenwick, they have something they call Family Flex, which is truly remarkable. Eagle is the most budget-friendly line of the 4 lines of Fenwick bass rods. Regardless of which line you purchase, right? As you move up in price point, they get more sensitive, more durable, lighter weight, things you would expect, but the actions are the same from one end to the other. Truly remarkable. So, if you fall in love with the action in an Eagle, and 10 years down the road, your situation has changed, your finances have changed, you want a world class, you know exactly what you're getting. It is not a question, but this Eagle is a fantastic line of rods. You can do everything. Just like many of these others, you can do everything with that one line. But we're talking durability. I mean, we're still in the value-packed category. We haven't even gotten to budget. That's tomorrow. But we're talking about gear that lasts beyond. Paired up to a Noski, which is one of the highest rated budget-friendly reels ever. The amount of technology that has trickled down into Noski is truly remarkable. The current generation of Noski has even more tech than this one. Unbelievably smooth as well as powerful. Just a great reel at a great price and a fantastic pairing.
Yeah, one thing we didn't touch on as we were both holding these rods, that Eagle and this Bass X are two of the rods in the lineup that actually have the cork handles, which are nice. If you like that cork feel, those are two lines that have that available.
All right, guys, with that, we are wrapping this one up. Now, keep in mind, we are doing new videos 7 days a week, all the way through this Buyer's Guide series. A new Tactical Bassin video every morning at the same time without fail. We have already done a few videos. We will link them in the video description first above the rod and reel combos. As promised, we'll give you all those models in the description as well. Tomorrow, we're stepping it up to budget rod and reel combos, and we'll just keep rolling from there every single day. Guys, we hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow.